Hey everyone, welcome to Carry Golds This Week in Siege. I'm Lawrence, otherwise known as Purple, and this is
I'm Joe, otherwise known as Body Knocks.
good to see everybody. Well, glad we're here. So we wanted to go over the current designer notes that just came out, go over what jumps out to us, what we think needs to be corrected, what thing needs to be, I don't know, highlighted, what was good. Um, so we just hop straight into attackers.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so obviously I've got Ace way out in front. That doesn't surprise me. He's a new operator. You know, everyone wants to play him. Everyone wants to try him. I don't think that's too surprising. Big thing that did jump out at me though was the fact that Buck and Sledge have effectively switched places from the last time we saw the designer notes.
Grenades, man.
And it does make me curious. It's like, well, did they take nades away from Sledge now, or was there nothing wrong with them?
I don't think they'll take nades away from Sledge, because that's like always been a part of his identity. And I mean, like, granted, you could argue that nades with Buck were part of his identity, but with Buck being, the master of verticality, this having nades also made him redonkulous. And don't get me wrong, Sledge is good as a vertical player, but only down.
Now, see, you say that, but Pro League has started a trend of bringing shotgun SMG-11 on Sledge.
No way.
I've actually seen it regularly. I've seen it from TSM, I've seen it from E United, I've seen it from Tempo Storm, and I believe I even saw it from SSG. It's becoming oddly common.
I guess. Like, I could... Sure.
Now, I think that speaks partly to the fact that Sledge has essentially two primary weapons in the SMG-11 and either primary in reality.
Yeah, missing the ACOG, probably the biggest thing. But once you're inside, Sledge is usually, once he's open, like done his job to open what he had to get open, he's usually an entry fragger in that state of mind. So your ACOG, while it's useful, you can also just tear people apart with the SMG-11.
Yeah, you're taking close fights with Sledge more often than not. Oof.
More often than not. I can see it. I can see it.
It's interesting because that's kind of a balancing aspect you wouldn't expect previously, and I guess that's a force change due to the Buck nerf.
Meta, well, yeah, due to the meta shifted because of the nerf to Buck, causing this to become the new meta, essentially.
But it is interesting to say, it's like, well, was that another level of balancing that they just ignored? The fact that Buck has probably the best secondary in the game, exception of Cali, with the, what is that thing? The CMP? I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
The gun clash has, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. I think it's SMP. I don't know. But
well, technically, on a like damage per second, the SMG-11 is still better. But when you start adding in things like recoil control, etc., scope, well, I guess SMG-11 has a scope as well. But yeah, it's SMG-11 still tops out on a pure damage per second.
It's interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
What jumps out at you as far as attackers?
So, I just want to get this straight. Like, did they really have to increase everything? Like in the old designer notes, they used to go from -3 to 3, and now they decided to go from -6 to 6. Like, fuck that.
I really do think it was to make it look like there's not this gap that there actually is.
Oh yeah, that could be the only thing.
Because I don't see any reason to do it that way. With the exception of making Fuse and Glaz look less ridiculous.
Yeah, I think that
just to make
is
them
probably
fit.
The big one. But like, if you look at last year, like the last patch designer notes, apparently Glaz only got worse, like a lot worse.
Glaz almost, or no, more than twice as bad as he was. And Fuse was balanced last season. I don't know what happened there.
It is just
Actually, I can tell you what happened there. People actually started playing him.
That I think another one that kind of goes with that is people also started playing Wamai like religiously.
Yeah.
So now you have both like, but like Fuse is like a great counter to both Wamai and
Well, actually,
Rager.
no,
Like,
he didn't. He didn't really change on his. Yeah, no, he. Yeah.
his pick rate went down, if anything.
No. His pick rate's left to right. So pick rate's the same, but people actually started playing him, so his win rate went down. That's what happened. Okay, I want to make sure I got that right. Because win rate's up and down. He's almost in the same line.
Yeah. The one thing, like, you commented on the ace, like, yeah, it is the new like operator. However, I don't necessarily see him falling after the trend. Like, I think he's still going to be a high picked, high presence, like high win rate operator, because he best gun in the game, smoke grenades, hard breacher, can destroy gadgets, shields, maestro bubbles. Like, he just is so good at everything. And from a solo queue perspective, like, why would you not bring him? And from like a team perspective, once again, why would you not bring him? Like, yeah, there is the exception, like, oh, where you don't get walls, we're getting hatches. Yeah, don't bring him. I understand it. But like, I would say like 95% of the cases, he is like a phenomenal hard breacher.
I'm never upset to see someone grab ace.
Yeah, like,
not once.
Like, and yeah, people always, I've seen the argument between Thermite and Ace. Like, why are you bringing Thermite? Ace is just better in every way, shape, and form. And like, Thermite's quick. Thermite's too, like, there's a million things that can go wrong with Ace if you don't have it set up correctly. Like, they can trick it very easily, and now you have a C4 hole that, like, good luck. Like, you're just not gonna, I don't know. But Thermite just alleviates everything. Just says, by that wall there, no.
I think the speed of Thermite and Maverick, combined with all the ways to counter a bandit, really started to kill bandit tricking. But I think if we start seeing Ace over Thermite and how just easy he is to trick, especially if we continue with Thatcher bans the way we are, so it's got to be a Cali, I think you might just see a return to bandit tricking. I think that might bring people back to Thermite just because of how much easier it is to beat a bandit with a Thermite because it's so significantly faster.
Yeah.
But we'll see, because it's also, the argument of, if Ace gets one single hole open, bandit could be dead. So it goes both ways.
But yeah, I mean, like, if he gets one single hole open, it does go both ways, both literally and figuratively, because now there's a two-way fucking hole that people can shoot you through. Like,
yeah, 100%. It's definitely interesting. I think he'll taper off a little bit when the honeymoon phase ends. I do think you're right. I think he's gonna stay probably high pick rate, high win rate.
Yeah.
I would like to see him lose his smoke grenades. I just
but we don't
think
have to say that. It's fine. No, it's cool.
It's gonna be a couple
someone
seasons.
Who mains Ace, like,
it's gonna be a couple seasons before Ubisoft fucks with them anyway. And if anything, they'll just take 3 bullets away from its magazine or some shit. Maybe they'll make him a 3-speed and give him nades. Yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll give him frag grenades instead. They're like, all right, fine. You know what? Fucking smokes. Give you frags like Maverick. There you go.
Once again, I'm okay with that. Bring back Dokkaebi nades.
Okay, yeah, that we can agree on. I don't. Never mind. Fuck off. All right, we're getting distracted.
But other than that, with the attackers and everything, nothing like really jumps out at me too much. I mean, I guess Ying, if we want to talk about Ying a little bit, like, she hasn't, like, they buffed her, but she's still like not good.
I think the problem with Ying is that she really takes a player that understands what her abilities are. It takes a very aggressive and good player to really take advantage of Ying. We've all been on the wrong side of a good Ying, someone who will actually dump Candelas and push you. But How many times have you just seen Candelas come in a room and no Ying? It
Way too
happens.
many to count. How
It
many times
happens.
have you seen all like 3 Candelas go off, and then you're like, okay, well, you just wasted 3 Candelas.
Yeah,
You
you
only
just
need
sit there.
one.
You sit there huddling in a corner, going, "Guys, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm dead. Just throw a C4 at my body. Just do it right." Oh, I'm alive. Okay, that was
Or
weird.
how many times have you seen like they throw all 3 Candelas in, but then all 5 attackers come in, and the only person who's not blind is Ying.
Yeah, it's just
So you have 4 other people just shooting in circles and like getting team kills, and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't the best idea.
This is gonna sound like a weird comparison, but she's a lot like Montaigne. She takes a very experienced and just I don't know, well-versed player to use her correctly, but when used correctly, she's a monster. Absolutely.
I guess
Go ahead.
another thing I'm kind of like, I'm not really surprised about it, but Callie went up 1 whole% instead of -2. She's at 1, -1.
I think the buffs put her in a good place.
Yeah, I think, is she a reliable Thatcher alternative? No,
No.
but
She
is it
is an alternative now.
yeah, she's actually worthwhile.
She's not purely a detriment at this point. She actually does bring in with the speed increases, I think she brings enough utility to the table. And I think with the secondary SMG, she brings enough fragging potential to the table that it works. I think it works. It's not great. It's not, I mean, look at Thatcher versus Callie. It's not even close. But it works.
Yeah.
Blackbeard jumps out of me. Really bad.
Really? Not really.
He's still statistically the strongest attacker.
Yeah, I guess.
And like we've been banning Blackbeard a lot lately, just because he's been at least Colin and he's been on our nerves.
He's just obnoxious to play against. Like
it just, the better you get, the more powerful Blackbeard becomes, and not in a good way.
Yeah. And then like, yeah, you're right though. Like he's so obnoxious to play against. Like because like by playing Siege, especially when playing Siege at higher levels, you purposely spend time and hours training to shoot head, right?
Yeah.
Like you spend all this time getting like practicing headshots, headshot flicks, crosshair placement, like the full 9 yards, and then you flick to a Blackbeard, and it just feels so bad because like most defender guns anyway,
aren't gonna break in time.
Yeah, it takes 2 to 3 shots to break the shield, and then you need a third or fourth one to get the kill. In that time, even though the Scar is a pretty garbage gun, like the dude only has to land like 3 body shots, which he's going to do.
Yeah, and it's just, I think it annoys me more lately because I've been playing a lot of Valak, a lot of Mute, a lot of Smoke. Just guns that don't do damage and rely heavily on head. I mean, SMG-11 you can body people, but not at any. It's not reliable for sure. It's not your first. I mean, Joe can tell you, I immediately just get. I'm pretty good about not getting tilted in the game, but as soon as I die to a Blackbeard as the shield breaks, I'm out of the game. Mentally, I'm done. I just get mad. If the thing I see in the kill cam is Blackbeard shield breaking as he shoots me in the face, I just instantly don't want to play anymore. It's a broken mechanic. It was bad from the start. It's better now. Don't get me wrong, you can actually break the shield now. That's a nice touch. But it's fundamentally flawed, and I think he's in line for a rework. I don't know what they would do. I don't know what he can do. But I think he's in line for a rework. Like not a nerf, but an actual just fundamental change to what he does.
Yeah, I mean, if they weren't going to fundamentally change him to some sort of super degree, right? And they wanted to keep the same concept, I would be okay with taking away any form of automatic weapon, and so he stuck with DMRs.
I'd be okay
because that lowers his time to kill. He kind of like, because when you think about Dokkaebi, right? Like, yeah, when you get the one tap headshot, you're like, oh, I'm a fucking god, right? But like in reality, you're usually like hitting 3-4 body shots with one of these DMRs. So if you give it to a Blackbeard, like 3-4 body shots with a DMR is a lot. Like you might actually have a chance to fight him.
Even his DMR, which is currently a 2-shot, it's fair-ish, I guess. It's something. I mean, although personally, when I played Blackbeard, I used to be bad. I brought the DMR religiously because I hate the Scar. So I'm not sure if it's a solution.
I think there would have to be some tweaks to his DMR. Big one being like probably decrease its damage potential to something similar with Dokubi's, and then probably give it a slightly higher recoil.
Or recoil.
Or recoil, period.
Yeah, it wouldn't be terrible. I don't know. It's something that's irked me a lot as of late. Maybe that's why it jumps out at me. I don't know. I think it's one of those things that's been in the game for so long. I think people have just come to accept it, but it's like getting Chalet, right? As soon as you see it, you want to be done for the night. And that's a fundamentally bad thing for the game. Mm-hmm. Anything that makes a person go, nope, I don't want to play anymore tonight, that's a chance a player's not going to get back on tomorrow. And that's, I don't want to sound over dramatic, but that's how games die.
Yeah.
Just one too many things that make you go, no, I'm done. I'm done for the night. And you go to the next night and you go, I don't know, I don't really want to hop on that.
I mean, we survived the release Blackbeard, so I think even with this current Blackbeard, people will still play. Will they be frustrated? Yes, but because you have the other end of the spectrum as well, right? When you do beat the Blackbeard, you're just like, woo, get fucked, nerd.
Oh, I have much more violent words than that, to be honest.
Well, yeah, but like,
this is my podcast. We can say what the fuck we want.
Think of the children.
Fuck them kids. You knew that.
But yeah. Other than that, I don't think. Yeah, I don't really think any of the other attackers. I mean, like maybe Maverick. I guess he moved up. He got quote unquote better, but like nothing's changed with Maverick. He's just Maverick's just good. People are just bad.
Yeah, people just I mean, I know myself and Ryan and you. We all spent hours in T-Hunt and custom games just learning how to use Maverick, and that's why we can ban Thatcher so religiously. Is just he's a great tool, but he takes time and effort. So that's, it's always going to hold an operator back, right?
Yeah. It's the same idea like with Buck, right? Like I never spent the time to learn his recoil, so I just don't play him.
Yeah, and it's just that's the way he is, but it's also like Captal, I suppose. Captal is extremely strong, as we'll get to when we talk about ban rates later, but he's extremely strong. It's just he just doesn't work for the average player.
Especially the average solo queue player.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. The less people you're queued with, the less effectiveness you're going to get out of that operator.
Which, granted, is when we see these win deltas, where majority of them are probably solo queuers.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, our games are thrown in there when we're queued together, but for the most part, nah.
I mean, at least myself, I can say I'm solo or duo pretty much, if not more time than I spend queued with 3 or more. So it's, I don't know. Scrolling down to defense, you know exactly what I'm going to say right now.
What, Jaeger or Malusi?
Fuck Malusi. Fuck that stupid bleep word. I need a bleep button. I need a bleep. I fucking hate her, man. Can't do it.
Like, I understand the frustration, but in all honesty, I have never played a game with Malusi.
That's because you play with me. And I will never not ban Malusi.
So I sit here and I'm just like, I understand fully how obnoxious she is. Like I have played her in like unranked or the quick play, but in actual rank game, I've never had a game with her in it. And I mean, if you scroll down even more, she is banned 61% of the time.
Her ban rate is absolutely insane right now. I mean, Mira was what was last season Mira's ban rate? Mira had an 81% ban rate. I guess Echo had a 67. So Echo lost 20% of his ban rate, and Mira lost 20% to give Melusi a spot on the totem pole. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah. Like, she has good guns.
Great gun.
Great gun. She has good secondaries, right? She has
probably the best non-automatic pistol in the game because it has a sight on it.
Yeah. Then she has what, impacts and C4 and barbed wire.
C4 and impacts.
Okay, so she has like,
it gets worse. C4 and impacts.
So they took so she has like 2 amazing secondary gadgets. And then her gadget is also just so.
It's not even that I think she's particularly overpowered. I think she's just frustrating.
She's mad oppressive. Like, it's like people are always like, oh, it's easy, just bring a Zofia or Ashe, and it's like, okay, but then how do you deal with that shield or that maestro camera or the million other things? It comes back to what Pro League says all the time, is it's
too much
defender sided utility. And like, I know the 20-second meta hasn't like really leaked into ranked, but like
it's getting there.
I wouldn't say it's getting there. Like, you can still, you don't have to, we're not there yet, but
playing those Plat 2, Plat 1 games, it's getting there.
Yeah, fair enough. But there's still enough utility that now adding 3 more things, it kind of sucks. Like, there's been so many, because think about it, realistically, we have, if we're 3 stacking, hell, if we're 4 stacking, we have 2 grenades, like 2 Ashe charges and 2 Zofia charges, right? We can destroy 6 things from range. And
that's assuming there's no Wamai or Jaeger covering them.
Yeah. I mean, like, usually I'm bringing 2 to 3 more throwables, but it's just.
And I know everyone's going to say, you can melee it. The chances of you walking up in any decently ranked lobby, the chances of you walking all the way up to a Melusi and meleeing it are
while it's going off,
laughable.
And like, yeah, I know there's ways around it. Technically, you can twitch it, which deactivates it, and then you can run up and melee it. I get it. Same thing with Thatcher. If you Thatcher it, it doesn't do its blah thing, so you can go and melee it. But now you have to bring Twitch and you have to bring Thatcher.
And like I said, it's not that it's particularly over. It's strong. It's too strong, but it's just downright oppressive.
Yeah, I would be okay, like, because when you see the actual, it's like the size of a bubble, right? It's a big plantable thing that you put on a wall.
Oh yeah, it's not hidden.
I would be okay with them decreasing the size of it to like the size of a like Valcam and just being able to be shootable. So like you can hide it, but you can still shoot it from range. Like, I would be okay with that.
I'd still say make it a bulletproof proximity sensor. Get rid of the slowdown effect. Get rid of the screen shake. Just make it a proximity sensor that you have to Ashe or Zofia charge. I
thought they got rid of screen shake. I don't think it screen shakes anymore.
It's reduced. It was reduced by 30%.
I thought they got rid of all the screen shaking stuff, like off of LMI, Zofia charges, and all that kind of stuff.
No. It's
the ADS.
Yeah, that's the ADS speed changes. Yeah, it's still there, and it's not the worst thing. It's just when it's combined with the fact that you can't move and your vision's distorted. It's a terrible combination. And the fact that there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. I would be okay with them keeping the screen flare, like the screen shake, but get rid of the proximity sensor that screen shakes but doesn't have the slow effect.
I'd be okay with that. We can talk about that. I still think it should be reduced to 2.
Yeah. In its current state, I agree wholeheartedly that it should be reduced to 2.
It's just, especially because like the chances of there being more than 3 ways into a site in any of the current maps, especially in a ranked state where hard breach is limited. It it's not great, man. It's just not great. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Melusi. Anyone who's played against her for any extended amount of time knows what the problem is. If you haven't played against her, it's because she's been banned constantly, and that should say something.
Yeah, she's just not a fun operator to have on the table. You're like, I'd rather play against anything else.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just takes you out of the game. I think any mechanic that just takes you out of the game, I don't know. I think it's bad. I understand sometimes it's necessary, but I just think it's bad. And if it can be addressed, I think it should be addressed. But Ubisoft went in a good direction. They reduced the range on it. They reduced the screen shake. So it's not nearly as bad as it was at launch. Oh my god. Launch. But what do you even say about Jaeger, man? What can you say about Jaeger?
Yeah. Like, they keep nerfing him, they keep changing him, but he's just too good. Yeah. There's no.
What do you do? What do you do?
Like, honestly, I think Jaeger will remain up there unless we fundamentally change how the game is worked, like played. Because, like, the reason why Jaeger, like, think about when, like, you know, the start of the game, year one, right? Jaeger was the only way to stop throwables, but back then we had less utility, right? Like, the utility that existed was like castle barricades, but you could shoot castle barricades down with like glass and stuff.
In reality, year one, Jaeger was about frag grenades, and that was it.
Yeah, because like everybody had them. Thermite had them.
Capitao had
IQ.
them.
Well, yeah. Like, everybody had frag grenades. That's what he was there for. But you also didn't. The shields were different back then. They are still brought, but like not enforced like they are today. Barbed wire was fucking oppressive. Like, you complain about Melusi slow. That was barbed wire in year one.
You still get rid of barbed wire. Barbed wire didn't go, he's over here. It just went, hey, he's over here.
I mean, yeah, but what it took like 4 melees to get rid of barbed wire back then?
No, it's always been 2.
3 or 4? No, it hasn't.
I'm about 90% sure that it has.
It took more melees to get rid of barbed wire back then, and it was a lot more oppressive.
I don't remember that. Anyway, I don't know. I don't even think Jaeger needs a nerf, to be honest with you. To be straight fair, I really don't.
Yeah, I don't think he really needs like another nerf. Like, people are constantly gonna say, "Oh, he's way overpicked." Like, yeah, but he's fine. Like, sure, like if you look at him, he has like a win delta of 1. Like, means he's slightly better than, you know, everybody else. But like, he's not like, people just think he's busted because he's picked 90% of the time. No, he's just a solid operator. Like, I don't think he needs to be banned anymore. Or not banned, but nerfed anymore. Yeah. Like, worst case, like, if people are still getting pissy about it and Ubisoft has to act, like,
take away an ADS.
I would say take away 1 ADS, but allow each ADS to stop 3 projectiles.
That's been kicked around for a long time. I don't know why they won't just put it on the test server. You don't have to keep it; just put it on the test server. But
yeah,
it's a mute point.
But yeah.
It's interesting to see Bandit brought as much as he is. I think that's a reflection of Ace.
I think it's a reflection of Ace, but I mean, Bandit's always been like a phenomenal operator. His gadget, you know, for a long period of time, I think, like, everybody loves his gadget for multiple reasons, right? Like wall denial, bandit tricking.
Second best gun on defense now.
Yeah, second best gun on defense. Statistically, well, it's a fucking phenomenal gun. Like, you just. Bandit tricking, I guess, is a thing because of Ace, but it's still just wall denial. So you can set it, forget it, and then be your 3-speed roamer. Yeah, like, I'm honestly surprised he hasn't been. I mean, like, he was up there last designer notes as well. He was still around 50%.
But to be honest, I'm still not. I mean, his win delta is not great.
I feel like the win delta comes. I mean, I guess you can't say that because Jaeger and like Valkyrie exist, but yeah, I don't know.
I
You
don't think
see.
he's bad right now. I don't think he is.
No, I think he's fine. I think the reason why we might see him in the lower win delta bracket is because he is the like quintessential like ever since Jaeger got moved to a 2-speed, he has become the quintessential like solo queuer's wet dream.
Yeah.
So you have all these solo queue kids who are like, I'm gonna fucking carry and then just get shit on.
I think it's the saturation of an operator. Yeah. Just played too much, so his win rate's going to go down because less experienced people are playing him.
I mean, because like I feel like it's slightly hard to say that because I mean, look at Jaeger, right? He's played 100% of the time but a still positive win rate. But I feel like that's because
of what his utility does.
Yeah, his utility has slightly more impact than Jaeger or Bandit.
Because you don't get significantly more utility out of Jaeger by using him actively.
Yeah.
Set it and forget it is just as effective as... I mean, you can ADS trick. I've done it. It's neat, I guess. Outside of Pro League, when, you know, they're burning flashes 80 at a time for you. With the exception of that, it's at a rank level, it's not really a thing. To be honest, to be fair.
Smoke, I mean, hasn't changed. He's still picked a lot, but people are still bad with him.
I think just the reality is that people go, hey, we need a shotgun. And someone goes, well, I'll take Smoke. He has a shield. It's cool. It's neat.
Yeah, I feel like Smoke is one of those operators that, like, especially in the solo queue environment, he is not like people don't pick him because like you can't frag out with him because you're sitting on site. If you're playing Smoke correctly, you're anchoring, sitting on site, denying
behind
plant.
A shield.
Yeah, behind a shield, like, and giving out info. Like, yeah, that's your job if you're doing it correctly. So, yeah, yeah. I've also always wondered. I guess we've never talked about this before. Is the win delta based on round wins or match overall wins?
The win delta is the percentage of chance you have to win, changed by whether the operator was brought or not brought. So,
in a round or in a game, though?
No, overall ever. So,
okay,
if Jaeger was brought, you won. That increases his win delta. If Jaeger was not brought and you won, that lowers his win delta. It's really weird. It's a really complicated way to do it, and it's kind of stupid. Pick rate of an operator when not banned. Win delta. The win delta is aggregated from operator's win delta per bomb. Oh, it's per bomb site now? Oh, I don't even know anymore. But so essentially, you have a better chance to win if you bring that operator.
So what I'm hearing is bring Rook, Melusi, Valkyrie, Jaeger, and it looks like Ella, and you'll win every defensive site.
Yeah, pretty much.
Got it.
Based on the numbers.
Yeah, based on statistically speaking.
Yeah, but also statistically, but it's really weird when it gets balanced against pick rate, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, you could go, oh, fucking Cav's amazing. Cav, and Silver Cav is amazing. But,
yeah,
you
but
know,
this is platinum and above.
Some people are aware that drones exist, which makes her significantly less amazing.
Yeah, but it always makes you wonder, right? Because these are stats pulled directly from platinum and above. And the fact that the platinum and above players are still able to get Cav and win mostly. Granted, we're talking like
5%,
3%.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so it could just be that those are like the superstar Cav people. So
I think it also comes down to a lot when you see people trolling. They go, hey, we're up 3-0. I'm going to bring a Cav and shit on these fools. I think that's a big part of it.
That's fair. Castle got worse, apparently.
Castle's just not ever going to be good in ranked. I think Ubisoft just needs to stop trying to balance him around rank play, to be honest.
I mean, like, you're right? He, like, as a solo queue, you're never going to pick Castle and be like, I'm helping, right? But in a team perspective, he brings, like, abundance of helpful things. Like, he's
If you try to make
great.
Castle appeal to the average ranked solo queuer, you are going to absolutely decimate any kind of team composition.
Yeah.
It's just
The
it's
one
not,
thing
it's not good.
the one thing I could say, and I know we've talked about this before and we both agreed on it, is if you give Castle an alternative gun, like something that isn't the like
I still say give him an up 9 mil, up the fire rate, good to go.
yeah,
Lower
yeah,
the damage, up the fire rate, make it like an MPX, MP5 kind of thing. No ACOG. Good to go.
yeah.
Give
So
it an angle grip, all good.
It's a different gun.
But you don't have to make a new gun model.
Yeah.
Change the sound profile, change the rate of fire, bing, bang, boom, done. But Ubisoft's not going to do that, and I can't totally blame them. Because in the hands of a Pro League player, Castle could then become rather strong.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see Doc that far out.
Once again, I feel like that comes to the same like
that same kind
reasoning.
of mindset.
Yeah, like
people just go, hey,
I'm gonna spawn peek. Yeah,
because win delta's right, perfect. So fuck it.
Well, yeah, and if you look at the last designer's notes, like he was picked 40% of the time as well. Like Doc's is one of those operators that always gets picked. Like it seems to be the big four: Doc, Jaeger, Bandit, and Valkyrie are always like the top 4 picked.
I will say the nerfs seem to have significantly affected Mozzie.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, he's obviously not as strong, right? But I wasn't affected that much by the nerf. If anything, I bring him more than I used to.
Of getting rid of the super shorty.
Yeah, I don't particularly think it was a great change. I don't think it was a terrible change. I think it was a change based off pick rate, which I always disagree with, but it worked.
Yeah.
From their perspective, it worked.
Like he started losing a lot more. Now he's now like in average. I mean, losing a lot more. He lost 1%. It looks like.
I mean, he went from overpick too strong to underpick too weak.
I mean, barely underpick too weak. Realistically.
But from where he was, it was a big shift.
Yeah, it's a big shift, like from where he was. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of it, like you can see it obviously in Presidents, but a lot of people were just like, "Oh, he's nerfed, garbage," and just stop playing him.
Yeah, and
because, like, I mean, I guess I kind of did the same thing, right? I stopped playing Mozzie after he lost to Super Shorty, but that was out of principle. But yeah, no.
I still think he should have lost his C4 before his Super Shorty. I've definitely gotten more value out of his C4 than I ever have out of his Super Shorty.
The thing is, I'm okay with him keeping his C4 because he's one of the 3 operators with C4 that can actually have intel on their target they're C4ing. Mozzie, Valk, and Pulse, right? Everything else requires a lot of team play or like predictions or other thing else. But Valkyrie can just, throw a cam, be like, there they are, ping, C4, go. Mozzie, a little more steps. You have to get control of a drone to do it. And then obviously Pulse is just
Isn't that the problem, though, is that you're eliminating team play in that aspect? You're saying, hey, let's make it so you don't have to coordinate with your team?
Like, the thing is, I would agree with you if it wasn't on one of these, like, roaming operators, right? Like these out far roaming operators, their job is supposed to be kind of like autonomous in their own right, so they can do things they need to do by themselves. Don't get me wrong, like when they do participate in team play, it helps, right? But having the autonomy to like be able to get these picks by themselves without like forcing teammates is what makes good roamers good, right?
See, when I think of a good roamer, though, I think of mobility. You see a lot of top tier roamers like Vigil, Alibi, Vigil, and Vigil have impacts. And Oryx can make his own holes with his face.
Yeah, and he still has impacts. Give him a C4, Christ.
Yeah, we were talking about that for quite a long time. Get Ubisoft.
Hashtag give Oryx a C4.
Someone get Bikini Body to get on it. Start another campaign like you did with the fucking boss, G. Um, so I'd like to see it, like, if you set up rotations, if you give him the shotgun and take the C4, you're taking away like a kind of a free kill ability, and you're giving the option for higher level players to create routes of escape, mobility, and flank opportunities. So I think that elevates his skill level and just kind of makes him it makes him still really strong, but you have to play him well. And I think that's where we should be shooting for.
Yeah, I would be okay with them removing the C4, giving him proximity sensors, and giving him the super shorty back.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he's got 2 great guns, man. I do think I'd like to see them take, even give him back the super shorty, take the commando. Hear me out. Take the commando, give it to a new operator, and let him use the Roni. Roni, high skill, high reward weapon. It fits that kind of operator perfectly. You can't drone him, but you've got the gunfight advantage.
See, I would say,
but keep the shotgun.
I would say let him keep the commando, get rid of the Roni, create a new operator that's ability is, well, his gun is the Roni, but his his special ability is he takes the Glock outside of the Roni casing, pulls out his secondary pistol, and now goes ambico. Like, and just pop, 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 pop. That should be an operator.
All right, Call of Duty. Let's calm down. Roll it back there.
Okay, how sick would that be, though?
But I can do that in every other game. We're talking about Siege.
Yeah, but like just having the one character that can do it, it would just be fun.
Ash can do it with their elite skin. There you go.
That's different. Also, make elite animations be able to actually just make animations be able to be used not in elite skins.
We're gonna get down a rabbit hole with this. Preaching the choir. 100% agree with you.
But Christ.
But give him back the super shorty.
So ugly.
Take the commando. Give him. You could even let him keep the C4 at that point. I could go either way on it. But if you made him use the Roni, it's a fantastic weapon when used well. I think if he could make his own avenues of escape, it would be perfect for him. And someone else could have the commando and have a great gun. God, imagine orcs with the commando. Please don't. But just imagine it for a second. It'd be fucking awesome.
I mean,
you shouldn't.
Fine.
You shouldn't. You should give him a C4 and roll from there. But
you can give him the commando. Because what? That's what he has the MP5 does what 26 points of damage per shot, and the commando does 30.
I know the commando has the exact same DPS as Jaeger's gun currently.
Well, that's because they're both assault rifles.
Yeah, except the commando shoots 9mm, which is really weird. So it's a pistol.
Actually, is the commando assault rifle?
It's labeled an assault rifle in the game, but it's based off of an AR pistol. It's very weird. Ubisoft doesn't know about guns.
Well, we've known that.
Yeah, fair.
Oh, wow. Wow.
What?
I'm on Ubisoft's main site, and Mozzie still has the super shorty on it.
Oh, dude, they never update that stuff. Come on.
But, like, come on.
It's terrible. I mean, come on. They don't update recoil patterns in Terrorist Hunt. You think they're going to take off his super shorty on the main page?
It's so dumb.
That
was the other thing. Mozzie's actual picture, like, of him on his bike is him holding the super shorty.
Yeah, they didn't think that one through very well.
No. Oh, man.
One thing I find really interesting is that relative to her pick rate, Mira sucks. Or relative to her ban rate, Mira sucks. Like, really bad.
Yeah. So
she's banned heavily. Now,
yeah, she's banned like 64% of the time, but she doesn't really bring much when it comes to winning.
How much is she banned for the same reason you and I ban her? So that no dumb fuck can bring a Mira and screw everything up.
Yeah. Like that could be a very, yeah, I could see that. Like you have an operator that like on certain sites and everything can be phenomenal. However, if you have someone who doesn't know what they're doing with her, then you know.
How many times have you heard someone go, "Hey, I've got a mirror strat," and then it's putting a mirror on a soft wall, crouched height that faces into like a main area, and you go, "Hey, this plant sucks." They're
No,
like,
it's not
bro, trust, and then they die immediately.
Or remember the time I was playing Cali on Border, and there was a mirror window, and I ended up shooting the mirror window out because it was on a soft wall with
Oh my god,
Cali.
it's just.
And I was back on fucking spawn doing it. I'm like, peek me, bitch, do it.
It's terrible. I remember on old Oregon, a guy. So you know how you used to set up the default mirror closet. So he reinforced the right side and put the mirror on the soft left side. And I asked him, I'm like, "Hey, so why did you do that?" He said, "Oh, so if you lose the mirror, you still are behind a hard wall." And I was like, "So your entire strat is based around you being shit?"
Yeah, that's
And then he shot me. It was a great rank game. 10 out of 10. Gold for you.
he could have just put like his second mirror there and then been like, hey. Also, how are you gonna lose that mirror? Like, grenades never popped it, did it?
No.
Don't pop. Does the new shrapnel system pop it?
No, they'll pop the operator before they pop the mirror. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. It's terrible. It's people are dumb. But
also the fact that Mira doesn't have a what is it? Cinderella skin. Mirror on the wall.
All right. Also the fact that her secondary shotgun is garbage.
Yeah, like it's not even good.
I hate
it's not even good at doing what shotguns are supposed to do.
Dude, it takes like 18 years to open a floor with that thing. Or a wall, or anything.
Granted, terrible. I will say it gets better at opening walls when you put a red dot on it, or you aim down sights, but
it's still terrible.
Yeah,
I'd take the super shotty any day of the week. As far as win deltas and pick rates on defense, I don't have anything else that jumps out to me.
Yeah, nothing really. Like, I mean, like other than Capcan going from like a 4 to a 0.
You know, Capcan's in our top 10 bans now.
Really?
Yeah, and there's a very simple reason why. Because he's been brought considerably more because he counters speed hackers, so speed hackers now ban him.
Fair enough.
Same way aimbotters will ban shields, speedbotters will ban Capcan.
Got it.
It's really weird. It's stupid. If you cheat, you're shit at the game, and I hope you die of Ebola and chickenpox at the same time.
I don't think you can die from chickenpox.
No, I just hope you have chickenpox while you die of Ebola.
Oh, okay.
Like, I hope you're itchy while you're shitting your eyeballs out of your penis or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how bull works.
I just hope the worst thing happens to you, all right? Coming on to ban rates. So, we'll head over to the Excel sheet in a minute here, but just looking at the ban rates, Thatcher, unsurprising. I ban Thatcher almost exclusively, unless it's Coastline. Jackal, people are dumb. Montaigne, there is the occasional Pengu. Blackbeard, we already talked about it. He's just, I think Montaigne, Blackbeard, and Jackal all fall into the same category of just being frustrating.
So,
you just go, I don't want to deal
Jackal, with it. I get it with Jackal. The thing with Montaigne, though, is Montaignes are, like, terrifying. Because...
a good Montaigne is terrifying.
Yeah. Well, even a bad Montaigne won't lose a 1v1, or shouldn't lose a 1v1.
You've never seen me play Montaigne.
Well.
I'm just saying, I tried, dude. I tried really hard to learn how to play Montaigne, and I can't do it. I'm just not a shield person. I suck at it. Just straight up, I'm bad at it.
But, yeah, because I definitely understand the need or the want to ban Montaigne, especially in higher plat levels, because you're probably going up against, you know, good Montaignes, and a good Montaigne is terrifying.
Especially on the map. Like, you talk about Clubhouse, you talk about Theme Park. A Montaigne just destroys everything. Because he just walks through. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a man's man. And he's coming in. Bank server. Sitting in bank trying to hold server room while Montaigne just walks up and sits next to you is an awful experience. It's
Yeah, you're
truly
like,
terrible.
because you don't want to take your eyes away from the Montaigne, but you're like, I have to.
But there's a Sophia and a Capitao
Oh,
in
yeah.
dirt, and it's just it's awful. Jackal, I think people would ban Jackal because of solo queue. I think that's really what it is.
Yeah.
Because if you have even one other person roaming with you that you're in communication with, you go, hey, Jackal's tracking me. He's probably right here. I'm going to come over here, and you just shoot him when he walks by. All right, cool. And that's it. That's done.
Mhm.
I mean, it doesn't always work that well, but it's not a panic situation like if you're a solo vigil on the wrong end of fucking Narnia. Montaigne, like we just said, it's just frustrating. A good Montaigne will just ruin your life. A good, even a subpar Blackbeard. I think that's the problem with Blackbeard is he elevates people to levels they shouldn't be at.
Yep.
Ace, I think we've seen a lot of Ace bans because he's new. I
He's
think we will
new.
continue to see Ace bans. Don't get me wrong, but I think we'll see him drop down to about 15%.
If you take a look at all the ban rates, all 4 hard breachers are in there. So
yeah, I think once countering Ace becomes more reliable, like people understand how to do it better and how to get around him, I think it will come down. I think we'll still see him as a pretty permanent fixture on the top 10. I do think we'll see him here pretty often.
Mm-hmm.
Maverick should be banned more.
Probably.
I absolutely should be banned more. But as soon as the Thatcher ban goes out, I just go, nope, you're not banning them. You can ban the Maverick and the Thatcher, but it turns into a shit show of a game.
Unless you have someone who can play Callie.
Even if you do, though, it's just Callie is just not reliable the way Thatcher and Maverick are.
True, but
Thatcher or Maverick, you should get the wall open every time. Callie, you can get the wall open every time. No ban.
Ban people. Don't be an idiot.
Yeah, no ban. He's a cool guy. Like, he's got interesting weapons. No, fuck off. If you're playing ranked, dude, ban an operator. Especially if you go, oh, we're attacking first, we shouldn't ban an attacker. You're dumb. Sorry. Same people will say we shouldn't ban Thatcher, we're attacking first. You still have to defend after, dude. Just don't do that. There are, what, 28 operators on each side? 26? Something like that? You can find someone to ban. I promise. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if you just ban, like, Tachanka, who cares?
Just go, hey, is anyone going to play Montaigne? That's my favorite go-to. Like, if I really don't know who to ban on attack, does anyone here play Montaigne? Nope. Get rid of him. Done. Why not, right? Like, if you really can't, like, if no one can agree on a ban, just say, does anyone play this operator? Nope. Okay, get rid of it. Nomad, I think that's a pretty... I think Nomad, Hibana, and Thermite speak for themselves. They're strong operators. They affect the playstyle. Like, if you're in a hatch-heavy map, you might want to say, get rid of Hibana. If you're on a map like Clubhouse, where bandit tricking is still kind of a thing, any map where I think bandit tricking is still viable, you want to get rid of Thermite. Borders, a good example. Nowhere's great to bandit trick with, but it happens. Nomad, it just allows for a more aggressive defense, which tends to pay off, to be honest, if you're not missing your shots.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing really jumps out at me. Do you have anything?
Between those 3, no, I think they're fine. And plus, they're like...
Just overall, for the attackers.
Oh, for the attackers? Yeah, no, not really. I mean, I guess maybe I would expect, like... Because, like, I was thinking maybe, like, Buck or Sledge, but even then, like, nah.
Yeah, I think the Jackal ban
Zofia or an Ash, like, yeah, there's just so many.
I think the Jackal
IQ.
ban gets in the way of actually good bans, but it doesn't surprise me that it's here.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's no shockers here, right? You see it in almost every game. I mean, I guess you see it in 43% of games. Defenders. Whoo! What does that say about Malusi? She's been out for 2 months, and people hate her. And like I said, it's not even that she's too strong, but I wouldn't call her broken. She's not fundamentally flawed, right? She's not Blackbeard, but she's fundamentally unfun.
Yeah, she makes she's just not fun to play against. There's nothing about her. Like, she's fun to play as, but like trying to play against her, like it just you just don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's not, even if you win, you're like, oh, that fucking sucked. It feels like you're walking in quicksand. You know, your phone's vibrating inside your skull for some reason. Like, I knew I lost it somewhere, found it. It's in that empty space. It's terrible.
Yeah,
Mira's banned
Mira,
quite often. I think she's just. I think Mira and Echo are honestly just instinct bans. You go, just, I don't want to deal with it. Get rid of it.
well, Echo makes sense because Echo's mad obnoxious, and with his bug still existing,
Oh no,
I
Echo's
get
a
it.
good ban. I think Echo's a good ban, but I think
The
he's
Mira
a reflex.
ban. Yeah, the Mira ban, however, I don't think is a good ban. It's purely a reflex at this point.
I will. You know, I think we said it before. I've honestly just said, hey, Malusi's already banned. I don't want to deal with a shitty Mira here on our team. Let's just get rid of it.
Yeah, and like,
especially when, like,
so
we want to play Echo, we want to play Clash. Yeah. Just get rid of the Mira.
I think there's a few things that goes to say with Mira. The first one is I think there's still a lot of reflex that comes to it where prior to, you know,
year 3
ban, like year 3, like, I mean, even into year 4 and stuff, right? Like,
she was just meta.
Mira was played 100% of the time when she wasn't, like, because you couldn't ban her, right? She was played 100% of the time, and then in Pro League she was also played like 100% of the time. Not realistically, but you get my point.
If you weren't bringing her, you were wrong. That was just it.
Yeah, so you have this sort of reflex of, like, especially if people who have been playing since like year 1, or not like year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 4. It's just like, fuck Mira, right? Because like she was such a power pick, and now there's just so many ways to get around Mira, and like it's not like the sites, the old sites and old ranked maps that Mira was used on. They're not like
not even
default
the same maps anymore.
Yeah, like the only one. Yeah, no, they're not even the same maps anymore.
With and the exception of new Bank Basement.
Yeah, and even then, like, it's not. You don't need a Mira there.
Yeah, I absolutely think it just takes. I think it takes away from another operator you could be bringing.
Mm-hmm. And then, I guess my last point about Mira is like all the new maps that are in the game, like that are in ranked and in Pro League, have all been changed since their original things, except for Consulate and Chalet.
Coastline,
I think, and Coastline, but you never brought Mira and Coastline to begin with.
Yeah, you did. She was meta as fuck on Coastline.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not
you brought her on every site.
Yeah, you brought her on every site. But those are the 3 maps, right? But if you think of all the other maps, now there's no place to play her because you can shoot them through the floor. Like, there's...
Well, and then... My biggest thing is there's no reason to bring her over another operator.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Vector as a gun still. I still think it's a great gun, and obviously it's Mira's best gun to use.
I'd rather have she has a C4. Than a Mira.
Yeah, and you'd rather have a Goyo than a Mira. But, like, she brings a C4, she has a good gun, like, I know. And it's just like...
And he brings two portable Miras. You can put anywhere you want.
Yeah, it's just...
and it's a 2-speed instead of a 3, instead of 1-speed.
Yeah. Mira has not aged well.
No. She's a very stagnant... Maybe stagnant's not the word I want to use, but she's static. She's very static.
Yeah, she was perfect for her time and place, but now she's old.
The meta's too fluid and aggressive to just stand in one. It's the same problem that's wrong with Tashanka, right? If you stand in one place, you're gonna die.
Yep.
But that's what it is. Clash doesn't surprise me. People don't like her. People don't know how to deal with her.
Once again, I can also understand higher rank players play Clash like well.
Yeah. I think 10%'s a perfectly reasonable place to leave her.
Mm-hmm. Valkyrie,
Valkyrie should probably be banned more. To be honest.
But I think she probably, like, if you go back to like last season, I think she was banned more. But actually no, she dropped 1%. But Yeah, she should probably be banned more. I just think Malusi is taking up a lot of the other options.
You know what happened with Valkyrie? They gave the G8 an angle grip, and now everyone wants to play IQ anyway.
Yeah.
They go, oh, hey, guys, they might have a Valkyrie. I'll bring the G. I mean, I'll bring IQ for the utility thing, the ACOG.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah. Again, if you're not banning someone, you're stupid. Moving along. Cade's a strong ban.
Yeah, I get it. Maestro, I get it.
Yep, Maestro. Capcom, we talked about it. It's speed hackers.
Jaeger.
Zeronic plays in Platinum above. That's just Zeronic.
What, Jaeger?
Yeah, he streams about 8 hours a day, and he has about a 100% ban rate on Jaeger. So that's just him. That's just the bearded guy.
Okay.
Bro, just watch some of his compilations sometime. He's a nade magician. It's amazing. Yeah, so that's just Zeronic and his stack. And that's all that is. On to operator balancing?
Sure.
All right, operator balancing. Fuse! Increase total number of cluster charges from 4 to 4 from 3. Population targeted by this change, casual and top ranked. I think it's interesting they put that in there. Just why we changed this.
Well, they've been adamant about trying to do that more.
No, but I'm saying like specifically stating it, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Because they put it in all of them now. Like it's
yeah.
I don't even think they did that last season, did they?
I'm interested by what they mean by top ranked. Like
I think it's platinum above.
Yeah, but like I guess we can get creative with it.
We discussed this earlier. I think where Fuse was good, he'll be slightly better. I don't think one extra cluster charge is ever going to make you go, oh my god, we have to bring a Fuse here. He's got 4 cluster charges now.
Yeah, like in the specific sites that he was sometimes brought on, he will be brought sometimes more.
Where he was good, he will be better. Where he was terrible, he will still be terrible. Like
they should just be able to throw a few charges up and call it a day.
Hey, terrible idea of the week. Make them deploy like gridlocks where you can just throw them into a room and it fucking scatters out. Imagine how terrifying that would be.
Be able to have all 4 of them pre-deployed and then you hit one button and they all go off.
That's really the buff he needs, to be honest.
That would really be where
good. That's really the only way he'll ever be meta.
I think that way of buffing would make him too strong because then it's like, let me just place these on. But if you make it so he can, if you limit it to 2, might be fine. And the other thing is, if you can just put few charges, like throw them so you can do them from below, the grenades might not have nearly as much distribution as if they go from above, but being able to do it from below would also be useful.
Here's an idea. Make it throwable, whether it's throw to stick or throw to deploy, but just reduce the damage on the pucks significantly. Make it an anti-utility device.
Yeah, I would be okay with if they were to, instead of being like frag grenades, make them all Kali charges.
I'd still like to see them do like 25 damage. You know,
how much does a Kali do if it goes off next to you?
3.
Like 10? Oh, it's only 3.
Yeah. 3 if you're standing directly like nuts attached to it.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it does like nothing. But utility has an HP of explosive 1. I don't know, it's weird. Yeah, I don't think Fuse is gonna see a huge change in pick rate or win rate. Maybe win rate, but not pick rate. I think we'll get the initial like 2-week jump where people go, oh, I gotta try this, and then it'll level off.
Yeah, it'll be fine, but yeah.
Gridlock. It's a change. So increased general track stingers deployment speed from 13 seconds to 9 seconds. Decreased individual caltrop. Why do they say track stingers on one, caltrops deployment on another? From 0.7 seconds to 0.45 seconds. Added a small blade for track stingers. You went from tracks to caltrops to tracks. Stop that.
Well, I think that track stinger is the actual thing, and then the gadget. The caltrops are each individual disc.
It's still stupid.
Yeah, no, it's dumb.
And then she starts yelling about jellyfish. It's fucking stupid. Track senior start deploying from 0 seconds to 0.45 seconds. Population targeted by this change. Casual and top ranked. It's really weird that those are always put together. But I don't think this is ever going to change if you bring a gridlock. It'll change how she works, but if she's brought, I don't think it's going to change anything.
Yeah, for the most part, it's not really going to change anything. We talked about it slightly earlier where if you're using it for flank watch, it has absolutely no effect because you're still going to get all of them deployed. The only time this is ever going to kind of matter is in two situations. One's very specific, one general. Is if you're trying to flush someone out of a corner and you decide and you throw it into sight or something into a corner, and then they start deploying a lot more rapidly. Yeah, the person might move rather than try to shoot all of them, right? That's the first like general thing. Very specifically, it might help against fighting clash. You throw one behind her, throw one in front of her, and now she can't get out without walking over them.
Yeah. Like I said though, I think we agree on this. It's not going to change the decision to bring a gridlock.
No, it's just a quality of life thing.
Yeah. Just like Oryx. Oryx got a quality of life change.
So I would say the Oryx change is probably the biggest one for a couple reasons. So you'll go ahead and then I'll.
So the TLDR of it is you can run through a wall and then run through another wall.
Yeah, you get to keep all your dash charges because I think you can store up to 3.
Yeah. So instead of going from 3 to 0, you go from 3 to 2. Which is kind of how it should have been in the first place.
But it does take longer to recharge your dashes, so 12 seconds now instead of 8.
And you recover faster, significantly faster.
Yeah, so now what? It's like
0.5 seconds rather than 1 second.
It's always so it's always 0.5 second because it was 1 second after dashing through soft walls or 0.5 or 0.7 after colliding with an enemy. Yep. But now it's always 0.7 or 0.5. So that's also pretty nice.
Yeah.
Because the one time I did, like, I've done it once where I ran through a wall into somebody to knock them down and kill them. And I panicked so hard because I was like, wait, do they beat me? Because it was a 1 second timer.
Joe's 1v4 clutch is up on my YouTube channel, Carried Golds. Check it out if you ever feel like it. Link down in the description.
Well, you only got 3 of them. The 4th one was before the clip.
But I'm gonna tell him it's a 1v4.
Well, okay, at least you have that decency.
Don't sell yourself short, Joe. Come on, you get like 1 clip per video. Got to make it sound good.
Yeah, I get 1 clip. I have 1 clip per video, but like I do my job.
You got 2 clips in the newest video.
I didn't even know I was in the newest video.
It's not released yet.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So it's a good buff to Oryx. I still think it's going to change the fact that people don't.
Yeah,
play him.
it's definitely a nice buff. Like we were talking about it earlier with Oryx. We think that get rid of impacts and give him a C4 would be like actually make him useful. Because like right now, like this is cool. Don't get me wrong, because now you can literally actually traverse the entirety of a map in a matter of seconds. You can just be like, I don't care that there's 3 walls in my way. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm on the other side of the map. That's cool and everything. And I could see it being like obnoxious, especially for having like people trying to roam clear. The fact that he can now just be like gone in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
But like as somebody whose emphasis is so heavily roaming, the fact that you have no way to like, I don't want to just say plant denial, but like do anything else other than like
his fragment potential is extremely limited.
Yes, like he doesn't need impact grenades. He's fucking Oryx. He runs through walls. His doesn't
ability
need impacts.
is an impact grenade.
Yeah, so he doesn't need impact grenades. Give him a C4. Make him useful.
Yeah. I think the angle grip to his gun was a good change. I think this is a good change. I think he needs 1 more and then leave him alone.
Yeah, give him a C4 and then we're fine.
Yeah, I think we're all good there. The other notes here just kind of talk about the changes they made previous and how they change things. We kind of covered that in the updated win balancing. So right now I'd like to hop over to the spreadsheet and talk about a couple things as we transition between ranked and pro league. So I spent some time this morning going over the numbers of what pro league has been banning and what ranked has been banning. Surprise, surprise, they're different, right? We're all shit at the game.
Well,
they're all not.
They're not all different.
There's
Thatcher.
very little overlap.
Thatcher's like the only overlap.
Thatcher and Mira, essentially.
Really, Mira?
Mira's 48% in rank or in pro league. So
Yeah.
what you're looking at right here is in the green we have pro league, in the blue we have ranked. So Thatcher sees a really high ban rate. Half of your ranked games you won't see a Thatcher. 62% of pro league matches you won't see a Thatcher. Even the lowest region, which is EU, he's at 51%. So totally just not likely to see him in your rank games. Maverick has a bit of overlap, not as much. You're going to see a third of pro league matches without a Maverick, while only 13% of your rank games. So Cali, here's the problem. I don't get perfect stats on what we have banned and ranked. I can only see our top 10, so that's all I can really show you numbers on. But so Cali's banned
Not
twice. She's been banned like 4 times. I don't know. Thermite's banned a little bit, about the same as you get in ranked. Hibana is banned quite a bit more in pro league than she's banned in.
But I feel like that's because in pro league, like Hibana becomes a potent fragger after she opens her hatch, right? Like
I also feel like the line of sights you establish with a Hibana are much stronger in pro league.
Yeah.
So you've actually got a 6% Ash ban in pro league. That's interesting.
I mean, most of it's coming out of EU and US.
It's actually been quite prevalent in the US. That's because there's a lot of frag heavy teams, though. It was actually
TSM.
TSM had I believe it was a 92% pick rate on Ash.
Well, so, Bolo, right? Isn't Bolo the Ash guy?
No. Bolo doesn't play Ash. Merc plays Ash. Mr. Goodnight himself. Bolo plays Thatcher. Come on, man. Give it the times. But yeah, and it's just it was a staple of their lineup, and it was interesting to see them play with that. I believe they actually won that game. Don't quote me on that. Where we see a big divergence, we ban Jackal a lot. Like we talked about, we think it's pretty stupid. And you can just see he's just not banned in Pro League. He wasn't banned a single time in the US, not a single time in LATAM, not a single time in Europe. He was only banned in APAC, and APAC games are weird. Like running Zofia Suppressor, unironically weird. All right, don't do APAC Pro League things. So people are insane. I mean, come on. We all remember Noah Rangu. We all seem to agree on Montaigne. 26 to 21% overall. Except in the US where we've never banned Montaigne. Interesting. Capitao is banned quite a bit in Pro League though. And for reasons we discussed earlier, it's just he's extremely strong with a coordinated team, and he's just extremely not on a solo queue level. That's what it is. Yeah. When we had our Go For strats, I was playing Capitao almost exclusively, and I think I've brought him twice in ranked in the past month, maybe 3 times.
Yeah, but it was always for like super specific causes, like, oh, they're probably going to bandit trick that, so let's fire it.
Yep. Or like, we need to get that guy off catwalk. I'll bring Capitao. Or just...
Yeah, and it was never like oh, we just pick him. It was always a reactionary pick.
Yeah. Moving on to defense, it seems we all agree on Mira. Ranked players hate her a little more. I think
especially in LATAM.
Dude, LATAM doesn't fuck her. LATAM was actually the origin of the Thatcher ban. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. LATAM likes it fast and furious, and they don't like anything getting in their way.
Yeah. Same way they play soccer.
The Echo ban is going to be a little kind of weird, I guess you would say, because Echo's been banned for most of the season in Pro League. because of a bug he had where you can't destroy his
Yep.
drones. And upon discovering that the bug was still semi-present, there's a lot of Pro League teams that have actually just had a gentleman's handshake agreement. We won't bring Echo, you won't bring Echo. And so he's not banned. So I would expect to see that much higher in the future once Echo's just back in the rotation. We seem to agree on Clash. We do not agree on Valk.
Nope.
And I think there's a very specific reason that we don't see, or that we see a Valk ban so common, is that because of the heavy utility meta, you really want to bring a lot to destroy that utility. You want to have an Ashe, you want to have a Zofia. Okay, well, now you need a Sledge because you need nades. Okay, now we need a Hard Breacher. And for that 5th slot, teams want to bring a Gridlock, a Nomad, a Capital. But when
they can't afford to bring IQ.
But the problem is when you have a Valk on the field, you just have to.
Yeah. So it's easier to ban him.
Pro League players are extremely adept at finding Echo drones. They're just good at it. They're straight up, they can just look at a wall and say it's right there. Boom, boom, done. Echo drones can be, or Valkyrie cams can be in such tiny hidden places that it's just. I've never heard a Pro League player talk about this, but I just think straight up they just go, no, we need room for someone else in our lineup. If we get rid of Valk, we don't have to bring IQ. And that's that.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's my personal theory, at least. I don't... That's how I see it. I don't know. I guess that's the only way I can put it. It's just... I think it's just a way to open up an attacking operator.
Yeah, so while I agree with you, I also think it's because you see this a lot more in Pro League than you do now, is how valuable Intel is. Like, don't get me wrong, Intel's valuable at all levels of play, but the emphasis on Intel is a lot more heavily like prominent with Pro League, where when you have a Valk player in your ranked games, it's like, oh yeah, we know where they are. But when you like in Pro League, there's like a dedicated person on cams until they have to get off.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where I'm going with that. It's just that, you know, if you don't have to prioritize dealing with that hidden information, you can deal with something else. And it makes the rounds easier.
Exactly.
Where are we at here? Cade, we see him banned more. Obviously, I just think he's stronger at a higher level. Maestro sees just about a 20% ban rate, with the exception of EU, who just doesn't like him, I guess. Maestro is extremely strong, but it's another Intel operator, really. And it's not as strong in ranked, even though the ult is literally amazing. I don't know. People are stupid. Oh, they took the ACOG away. He's not strong anymore.
You know how many times I've 1v3 clutched without the ACOG? Fuck.
I honestly think it's easier now, because it's just a fucking... I don't know. I like it. I like it with a holo. Even if they brought the ACOG back, I'd probably still run the holo. I've just gotten used to it. I like it.
There'd be specific sites I'd run the ACOG, but I'd probably use the holo most of the time.
It definitely would be a matter of swapping in between, where before it was just straight ACOG.
Yeah.
Wamai is actually banned in Pro League. And I think that comes down a lot to the utility meta.
Yeah.
Wamai soaks up just a fuck ton
Way
of it.
too much.
He brings a shield. He brings an AR, which in the hands of a Pro League player, I can't use the AUG to save my fucking life. I think it's fucking garbage. Hot garbage. But in the hands of a Pro League player, it's a force to be reckoned with. He brings a deployable shield with Shinichu. He soaks up utility. He's just fantastic. And that just doesn't trickle over to ranked, I don't think. I think that's just what it is. It just doesn't...
Yeah.
It doesn't translate.
No, it really doesn't. Just like Goyo doesn't translate.
Yeah.
Like Goyo, ever since the 3 shield nerf, he's probably banned less. Like, he's only banned 8% of the time, give or take, and mostly in EU. But
for me, it was the
I bet you. Okay.
I think it was... When you
was
took away that ability to impact trick and took an extra shield, and nerfed the TCSG. All those together really brought him down to where I think he's perfectly balanced right now. I think he's right where he needs to be.
Yeah, perfectly balanced. It's just, ranked. People don't play him in ranked.
Yeah,
he's good. Like, I've been playing him recently. I love him. I love playing him because, like, the TCSG is debatably, well, not debatably, it is the better gun. Like,
for utility.
Yeah, like, And but there's certain times where I'm just like, I mean, we already have somebody with a shotgun. We don't really need the utility. I'm just going to bring the Vector and frag out. And lo and behold, you bring the Vector and you frag out.
Yeah, there's sometimes I want to frag out, so I put an angle grip on the TCSG. And, you know, that works great. You knew I was going to say that.
Yeah, no, I knew.
I was waiting for your reaction. I thought it would be funny. Well, damn. I've been defeated. I've been deflated.
I know your opinion on TCSG versus Vector, but I don't know. I love the Vector. It's always been my favorite gun. Like
I still love Goyle though.
Yeah.
Regardless of what kit you bring with him, I just like Goyle. I think he's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he fits into a lot of the lineup right now. I think that's kind of the issue.
Yeah.
Because you bring the smoke, you bring a Jaeger, you bring a Valkyrie. Hopefully you bring a Valkyrie. You bring a Mozzie or a Vigil, something to roam with. You bring an Echo or a Maestro. He just doesn't. In a ranked sense, if you don't have a plan with him, he's just not the play.
Yeah, it's hard. But I mean, the last three, Pulse, Castle, Mute.
Yeah, Pulse isn't a surprise. Castle's not a surprise. Mute's not a surprise. Mute, I've been playing a fuck ton of Mute. Mute's an underrated operator. I don't even think he's underrated. I think he's just understood.
Utilized.
Understood. Does that work? How do you English that?
I think underutilized rather than understood.
Well, it's not that people don't use him. It's that people don't understand his value. I think it's the problem.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Like, people don't set him up for drone denial. They don't set him up for
everyone always
denial.
Everyone always tries to bring Mute as a alternative, as a like hard wall, like denial,
as a alternative to Bandit, and it's just not what he is.
Like, can he do it? Yeah, but
I think he's much better on secondary walls than a main wall.
Secondary walls, other than main walls, but also, as you were saying, drone denial. Like in Outback in Piano Room, like they never drone me in Piano because I have I have 3 mute jammers set up, so like they have no vision of Piano. It's great.
You know, I
was gonna say the amount of times that like I've heard someone walking up piano stairs and they can't drone me, so they don't know where I am, so I shoot them in the face with a shotgun. Like,
yeah, he's got a great kit: shotgun, SMG-11, C4. If you're bringing the bulletproof camera, you're trolling. You see me make heavy use of him on New Oregon. I think he's fantastic there. Yep. I think I've gotten a lot of use out of him. He's fantastic, man. He's great. He works on almost any site.
Year 0 operators, man, too strong.
They're good, man. They're just good. Now, remember when Mute didn't have an SMG-11? He was just fucking garbage.
I honestly, like, that was so long ago, I forgot he didn't.
Yeah, it was just, he really was a different operator, because it was like, you brought the MP5 and you're like, this sucks. And you brought the shotgun and you went, this sucks. It wasn't good regardless. Gave him that shotgun SMG-11 combo. If you're using the MP5, sorry, you're trolling. Like, I can see the argument for it.
In select locations if you already have a shotgun, but
yeah, the argument's still wrong though. Like, people say like, oh, I need to be able to take long range fights. No, you don't. You're playing Mute. Fuck off. Don't spawn peek with Mute.
Yeah, you shouldn't be using a long range fight with the MP5 anyway.
Yeah, like, I like the shotgun SMG-11 because it kind of reins me in. Now, Joe can attest, I do peek things with the SMG-11. A lot.
Things you shouldn't.
I get away with it,
We all do it sometimes. We all do it sometimes.
I do practice the SMG-11 a lot, though. There's a difference.
I feel like me, you, and Colin probably practice the SMG-11 the most.
I'm on the SMG-11 at least an hour and a half a day. Usually between 2 and 3 in the morning. Yeah.
I don't practice the SMG-11 that much, but when I do terrorist hunts, I'm only using the SMG-11.
Now, it's unfortunate because it's not actually the live recoil on T-Hunt, but
yeah.
that's why it feels so amazing on T-Hunt.
Yeah, tell me
It
about
really
it.
does fucking feel. Oh my god, it's so good. So yeah, that pretty much covers that. Let's scroll on over to Pro League. And we wanted to talk about Oregon. Oregon is the newest map introduced into the Pro League map pool. Well, the reworked Oregon, I should say. The original Oregon was in it originally. I think it's a fantastic map. Joe, I think you have rather similar opinions on it.
It took me a hot minute to get used to it, but once I finally figured it out, yeah, I actually really like New Oregon.
Well, once we took that day to sit down and really figure it out and go, all right, how do we defend this? How do we change this? How do we do that? And I think that's the same with all maps. I think when people genuinely take the time to sit down and learn a map, they will like it more. If you take the time to go, okay, how do we do this? How do we do that? How do we
should probably
this?
do
How do
that
we
with
attack
Theme
that?
Park at one of these days.
Yeah,
I don't want to do it with Theme Park.
it's just so.
Who knows? Maybe we'll stop doing Throne Room and we'll go Drug Lab because we'll find something super awesome.
No. I mean, I tore Theme Park apart back when it first came out, but we've had so many different operators since. It's not played the same way anymore.
Yeah.
But Oregon, it's seen quite a bit of play. I think it's the second most picked map in every region. Tied for first place in US, tied for second place in APAC. Let's see where we're at in EU. Second place in EU, and LATAM
tied for
second place.
Yeah, it's second place. Tied for second place in just about every.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Although it's interesting to me that then Clubhouse and Villa are the next two, or are like the other big two ones.
Yeah, I think just a lot of teams are comfortable on Clubhouse and Villa.
Clubhouse, most definitely.
It's been around for a long time. It's been good
but
for a long time.
It's interesting because in Europe, Clubhouse is like in the bottom, and it's third in Brazil. Or
I'm actually looking at it in Europe right now. Europe has a very meta, or yeah, I would say like meta heavy, like utility heavy playstyle. Like US and LATAM have kind of gotten away from the 20-second meta, not exclusively, but they're farther away from it where they were 6 months ago. Whereas EU, they still play really heavy with the Goyo Wamai combo. They still run heavy on the Mute Mozzie combo. It's just things they do still really aggressively. And also, it's a big difference because in EU, we have best of ones, whereas in every other region, we have at least a best of two system. And in EU, you can draw. So it's just, you're not... What's the best way to put it? You're not encouraged to experiment, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can't go, oh, it's fine, we lost this map, we'll win the next one. It's win or lose, and that could decide between making $10,000 and making $30,000. So yeah. EU just has a very, I don't know, until they update to best of three, that's just kind of how it's going to be.
Yeah.
What we see quite a bit, I think it's going to be the same everywhere. It was that laundry supply is the play.
In Oregon?
Yeah. Personally, at a ranked level, I prefer top floor.
Kids dorms.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so in US, the most defense win one is actually
Kids
Meeting
dorms.
Hall Kitchen.
Oh, Meeting Hall Kitchen. Yeah. But that was
followed
played
by
16
Kids
times
Dorm
versus 42.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, Kids Dorm is the play, followed by Laundry.
Yeah, you set up the rotate by white, both the rotates in Kids. You get bridge reinforced, you get main wall reinforced, you get what I call trophy, or what I call Fox, which is called trophy to attic reinforced. You get the single wall by the big window, single wall coming into attic, and if it's a heavy tower push, you'll reinforce the meeting hall to tower downstairs and play inside of meeting hall. Super defendable. You really don't need that much communication as long as someone's bringing a shotgun and setting up correctly. It's just good, man. I like it, but it's also attackable.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it sometimes.
Well, I would say the top floor, kids' dorms, definitely the hardest one to attack. You
At a
never
ranked level, 100%.
at a ranked level, yeah, because you don't exactly have the best plant spots, I guess, right? Like,
It's very hard to plant. It's very hard to frag. Either way, it's rough.
yeah. But either way, it's not unwinnable, to say the least.
No, especially if you can get coordination going in a ranked squad, it's 100% doable.
Yeah, I feel like most of that floor requires crossfire, like attacking, crossing, like fire, and trading. So what I mean, like, it's fairly simple concept to follow, but basically what I mean is you have to have multiple people pushing from different angles but watching the same thing, so when they get peeked by the guy, you can then trade them, essentially.
Yeah, it's there's a lot that goes into it. I think that makes it fun.
Yeah,
I have a good time with it. I think you have a good time with it. A lot of people hate it. That's fine. It's whatever. It's a new map.
Yeah.
People will get over it. All right, so here we are on New Oregon. We're just going to basically show you how, at least we like to set up the top floor, how we attack it, how we defend it, give you a quick rundown, and then we'll get up out of here. So, really strong lineup here. You're going to want to bring a smoke, a mute, a Jaeger, Bandit, and the fifth is
or
really
Cade.
kind of up to you. Bandit or Cade. I think Bandit's better here just because he's more roam friendly.
Close, yeah. And then, well, Mai is never a bad one to bring.
I was thinking Mamai.
I could see Goyo. I could see Goyo.
I can also see Goyo. Doesn't hurt to have a Mozzie here. Mozzie's really not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Vigil's not bad if you want to roam. Alibi's good if you want to stick her prismas on the windows. That can be helpful. There's a lot of flexibility for your fifth.
Yeah.
So basically,
but I think the big two are definitely Smoke and Bandit. Well, Jaeger, I guess. Smoke, Bandit, Jaeger.
yeah. And I also think mute is like a must bring on this site for me. Because the smoke's going to stay on site where mute can go around and do quite a bit.
I guess that's true. Having the other shotguns.
Yeah, second shotgun to set up site. You got a C4 from below. I play it pretty much exclusively when we come
5
here.
seconds.
No.
Oh, that's
Bomb
rude.
located by Op 4.
So you can open this hole here, which you can use to watch classroom window. Common jump in. You can open this hole here, to let you watch classroom door. Common jump in. You'll see a lot of people come into classroom trying to get rid of utility on this wall. Also, if you sit over here, you're safe from big window. You can shotgun open a hole here, and that is the bottom of white stairs. How's it going?
Op 4
There's
is
also
located
this
a
one right
bomb.
here.
You know what to do.
Kitchen door.
Kitchen door.
That's really
And
nice,
then-
especially when you have a kitchen defense.
I guess it's a little further, but
Actually, come over
That's-
here, Joe. Right here. Oh, I can't see it, but... No, still in the settle. You pop that right there.
where? Oh.
If you're attacking kitchen, you can get right here, and your plant spot's going to be right down here. And that's about... You can also get this section right here. We actually used this last night in a round. Basically, we set up a plant right there. We held it from up top. It was fantastic.
Yeah, my point with this one is you could also see the door.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is one we specifically used last night, and it worked really, really well for us. You're going to want to reinforce those two walls, these two walls, top of this hatch. Get your mutes or bandits on the wall. Best thing you can do is put 2 ADSs down here, or one my magnets up in the rafters. And essentially, you're going to hold this as long as you can. People are going to push you. You're going to do your best. Just don't die to nades. Usually Wamai can play a shield. He has options. Wamai will commonly play a shield here because he can help deny the breach, he can deny Fox, and he can deny Attic. Also, what we found is the best place for smoke to play right here. So you're gonna pop your smoke shield farther back. Here. This is a great angle to play. And what you can do is you can throw your smokes right here. Make sure your smoke lands on the floor, not on the wall. Because if it does land on the floor, if you want to come over to our default plant spot here. This is default plant, by the way. Propagate smoke through the wall, and it will hurt the smoke. Or it will hurt the plants.
I'm also pretty sure it works on the wall.
It will not. Try it out.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait till the...
Yeah.
Down to 15
It works.
seconds.
It shouldn't, but it does. The way smoke propagation works, that shouldn't actually.
10 seconds to go.
It's super weird, by the way.
5 seconds to go. Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
I didn't know if there was more you wanted to talk about. That was going to give us like another minute.
Yeah. We can swap over to how do we attack this.
Fair
So-
enough.
Really fast overview. If anyone wants a more in-depth guide on how we defend Oregon, at least, we've been really successful with this. Just drop a comment down below and we'll make it up for you. We'll get all the boys in here and we can set up everything. So you can go ahead and set up the site. I'll just bring a sledge. Show you how we open this, how we plant here.
Yeah, we have
We
two
need
ways
to
of
locate a
attacking this
bomb.
site.
We're not talking about the Amaru strat.
I wasn't saying the Maru strat.
I know, I just wanted to bring up the fact that it was an Amaru strat. And that nobody gets to know about it. It's ours, it's secret.
I mean, now the Amaru strat's just better.
I know. That's why we're not telling anybody. It's our secret. My 2 viewers who are us are never going to know about it.
Be advised, your drone has located a bomb. Insertion in 10 seconds. 5 seconds to go. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Alright. So essentially, you want to get master control. I call this Fox. Get Fox control. Go ahead and get this wall open. In your primary plant spot, pretty much regardless, we used to say if this wall was open, you shouldn't plant here. Kind of evolved to accept the fact that this is the #1 plant spot, bar none, is right here in this corner. Covered from the wall, you're very well covered from white, as best as you're going to get. It sucks regardless, but ideally, you'll have someone watching from Breach, someone watching from Fox, and you're also going to want to take... So usually the best way to do this is to bring a Maverick and some kind of soft structure. Take control of Attic. You don't even really particularly need to fight this angle over here. That's not really a necessity. What you need to do is keep someone out of this doorway. If you keep them out of this doorway, you've done your job. That allows the planter to get in. If they have a smoke and he knows how to propagate the smoke, you're going to have to deal with that. Sorry, nothing I can do about it. You can pressure the guy coming down from here. That's a good
Well,
way
it
to
also
stop.
depends, right? So the guy who plays smoke here, we always reinforce this. I don't know.
Bomb has been located.
We always reinforce this wall for the sole reason of now we can't, they can't get you from outside here.
And in reality, if you're doing a split push between Master and Attic, you're really not going to have a person that can afford to be over here. If you really want to split up your boys, maybe.
The best thing, because usually we have 3 on this side to get this wall, is once this wall's open and you have control of master bedroom and whoever's usually chilling on rappel there, the third guy in theory can go to here, because then with this angle it helps deny the guy who has to push in from white to deny the plant, because this is your most common place that you are going to die from. Because this guy's gonna, because if you back up from there, like on the breach, you can't see this guy, and he can get in and kill you. So you have to be pre-exposed with taking a fight with this guy in order to stop him from killing Planter.
Which is why I said
But-
ideally you want someone playing Fox because you can see
15
this angle
seconds.
before they can see you.
Yeah.
The reason you
The
don't
other
want to
thing-
send someone to big window is
10
that
seconds
you're
remaining.
essentially leaving your plant cover in a 1v1
5
Yeah.
seconds.
because you're too far away to do anything. If you don't get the plant down, you're fucked.
All friendlies have been eliminated.
Is essentially what it comes down to. While if you have one on the breach and one in Fox, someone can come and pick up the plant.
Yeah,
And
the
still
only
someone
reason
covered.
why I mentioned that spot is because if all 5 of you are still alive, usually 2 of you go to 2 of you are pushing from the backside, and you don't need 3. And 1 person get control of Fox, etc.
The reality of it is that you're probably going to lose someone taking attic.
Yeah.
So you're only going to have one guy alive there, and you just it's tough. It's a
Yeah.
ranked game. Your randoms are going to do something stupid. Can't help that. Best you can do, especially if you can generally muster 3 people
Secure the
together,
area. Keep the
yourself
bombs
and 2
protected.
others. If you can get this wall open, if you can get someone on Fox, if you can get someone planting, someone covering up the wall, it's not perfect, but it's the best chance you're gonna get.
Yeah, on a site that has like a 72% fucking defensive win rate.
Yeah. It's never going to be great, especially from a rank perspective on attack. It's winnable. I played a Plat 2 game yesterday where they reinforced the white rotate,
10
and that just made this site free. Don't ever do that. For the love of God, open this wall. It's just, you're going to hate yourself if you
Increase
don't.
surveillance on bombs. Op 4 has the diffuser.
That's pretty much the gist of it. Also, something I quite like to do is I'm opening up below the default plant, and whether my teammates like it or not, I generally will end up dropping into meeting hall at some point during the round because I play mute. And what I'm looking for when I do this is I'm looking to get below the actual site, because generally, when this wall gets opened by hard breach, the floor will be open. And because the attackers open it themselves, they very rarely actually are looking down here. It's a really easy way to come in and get a cheeky pick. So, Joe, if you want to stand like you're holding the angle for the planter, it's really easy for me to get in here below him. And it's just not, it's not the first thing on his mind. I'm not saying I haven't died doing this. I'm not saying I've definitely gotten kills doing this. If you're not in a man disadvantage, there's really no reason not. Okay, you're really loud. There's no reason not to drop down and take advantage of this. And also, if you're just not brave enough to peek that, you can always get right underneath default plant. You can shoot this guy. You can C4 him. You can shotgun him. You know, whatever you want. Easy thing to remember is this fan is the center point. If you're an attacker and you want to destroy utility, you're going to shoot past the fan. If you're a defender and you're trying to get rid of the people on the breach, you're going to shoot on the north side of the fan. C4, bullets, whatever. That's
Are
my
you
reference
still
point.
you're still able to impact trick this, right?
It's really finicky. It's really,
Like
really
when you
finicky.
bounce stuff off you can bounce, because you used to be able to bounce it off the fan.
You still can. It's just really unreliable.
Oh, well, you can destroy the fan apparently.
But, you know, you just have to land it on the actual frame of the fan.
Got it.
And it actually still works with C4s. If you drop a C4 through the thing and get it right here, it's really hard. But the new
All
shrapnel
friendlies were
system will
eliminated.
get you a kill.
Mission failure.
But so yeah, that's the newest Pro League map in rotation right now. A really, really quick, cut and dry overview of the way we attack it, we defend it.
We'll attack that one site. Basement attack is pretty similar to how it used to be. The only difference is
It's completely
you just
different.
Well, yeah,
No,
you don't need
it's,
the
it's not anywhere like because the old one it was all about get the main hatch
Hatch.
open.
my point was the fact that like the way you go about it, the operators you bring are all pretty much identical. The only difference is now instead of going for main hatch, you go for one of the sidewalls, whether it's in what is it, freezer, which is a really janky freezer, by the way. Like it's a weird ass freezer, or tarps.
Yeah.
But operator loadout,
just
pretty
like
much
the
all the same.
original, big
Yeah.
tower control is pretty much essential, regardless of what you do on the map. And yeah, that's it for me. I think that's everything we really wanted to cover today. Basically, just quick cut and dry, looking over the pick and ban, stuff like that, wind deltas. I don't think there's any. Is there anything else we wanted to cover, Joe?
Nothing that I can think of.
I do have a note in here about the ranked meta. There were some things I want to say about it, but I think it can wait for a different video. I think this is getting a little long. Yeah, well, appreciate your time here, Joe. Appreciate anyone who stayed for the end of this video. We really appreciate your time. Joe, if you want to give us a sign off.
Well, it's been fun.
Yeah. This was Carried Golds with This Week in Siege. Thanks for sticking around. Have a good night.